Okay. Okay, guys. I spend a lot of time doing stuff that I have to do offline, if you know what I mean. Testing, getting ready for next season. Obviously, we don't have patch notes, but I'm basically working on the classes that have nothing announced so far. So I've been working. I finished Spellblade, and I worked a bit on Necro. Okay, so how to say this? You guys remember the Blood Spectre build thingy? Like the Blood Spectre build? Like the Abomination with Blood Spectre build thingy? You guys remember that build, yeah? Okay, so I retested the DPS with proper, you know, with all my metrics and inputting all the... very cool watching your empowered speedruns. What are the best methods to speedrun to level 100 softcore for a good leaderboard rank? I want to learn more of this. I don't know about softcore, because the thing is, like, in softcore, people play in groups, and they do weird shit. And they, like, corpse rush, and... So I'm not super familiar. And to be honest, the current meta to level 100 has to do with something that I think is getting fixed, which is what we do what it's called... There's two methods. There's the arena method, where what you basically do is you get a super arena. You spec on the Weaver tree and all the arena stuff. And then you just grab one arena, and then you just do it non-stop, non-stop, non-stop. But you always exit before the arena finishes. So you basically only do that map, but never finish it, right? You never get to the last wave. And you play builds that have very good range, like Tornado Werebear, Tornado... like ballista, things like basically auto aim for you, and that's all you do. It's very, very repetitive, and I don't think it should be in the game. And then you have the Room Prison Complex, which is like you try to get Room Prison Complex, which drops from Exalt Mages, which is a special map. And once you get it, you do the same thing. You enter, kill all the mages, exit, do it again, and you just do it non-stop. Not particularly fun, and I hope, and I have heard hints that this might be on dev streams and stuff, that this might be getting removed. It's not confirmed yet. So if it gets removed, then the entire meta changes. So what Spellblade discoveries did I made? Well, I changed every build completely. So you wanna see the new Flame Reef, Jay? I couldn't believe it, honestly, when I was testing, how retarded it is. I gotta go offline. So I've been trying... All of this is what I tested so far. What did I miss? Nothing, I just started. But yeah, the Flame Brief... I mean, I'll show you. I have a bit of extra HP on some of my slots, right? That maybe I shouldn't have. Like... over endgame. Like, the crit avoidance doesn't do anything, by the way, because this gives me 100%. This is also fucked. Don't look at it. I just needed some presses somewhere, so don't look at it. But other than that, it's basically regular build, regular items, nothing too crazy. Just I was lazy with the idols. Okay, so I'll show you the damage. If those two methods get removed, do you think it would be the best method? I have no idea, actually. I'll have to do testing. But it's probably just XP tomes. Like, open up the Weaver tree and type XP. And basically spec for this and spec all of this, so you only get experience tomes. So you take this, and you just do, you take anything that gives you density, you take. Like this, that gives you extra, anything that says extra mobs, you take, basically. Okay, Jay, are you ready for the damage? Are you guys ready for the damage? I'm stacking Throne, by the way. Firebrand though, it is what it is. Does too much damage. Isn't just rampancy? I have no rampancy. I have no attribute, nothing. This is literally 1 tier 7. And I'm going tank, by the way. I'm building HP. I'm building HP. I'm building HP. Like, okay, this is damage, I guess. Building HP. Well, double tier 7. Should have a bit less HP. Again, imagine I had, instead of 4k, I had, you know, single tier 7. This, again, the crit avoidance, it's not doing anything. Imagine I have only 3 LP. I like the no fire. Yeah, but I mean, this one is stupid. I mean, if I show you the Uber, it's like, I recorded all the Ubers. I'm doing a lot of data gathering. Am I excited for the new Krafton RPG? I don't even know what that is. Is it like the Chinese game that they showed at Gamescom for a bit? It's like an... But look. Korean. I mean... It's good. Nice. Yeah. Unfortunate positioning.
This is his answer. The void hungers for savior.
Could have stunned him there, but I mean, how crazy is this build?
What? Arubis, help me!
There's so much fucking damage, it's hard to pass. I don't think this is much faster. It's so much faster, it's insane. It's like so much faster, it's insane. It's like half as fast. Like, when I used the same gear, yeah? The same gear on the other build, I mean, the video's on YouTube, right? Playing perfectly. It's like, what? Like, 4 minutes? 3 minutes something? What is today's project? I did a lot. I did a lot today. And because Flame Brief has a cooldown, it's not even annoying to play. Just hold your keys and it plays automatically, basically. Everything is automatic. I mean, in LA, I was doing this. This was yesterday night, but... this one is just, I don't know, it's just insane, this one. Do I have the new boss?
A mighty sword!
Run it away from me, man. That's the new boss. No, fix Shatter Strike? I did. I fixed Shatter Strike too. I did that too. Offline? No. No, I tested everything. Node by node, like, oops. W rate. Hey, what's up, Curse Boy? Thank you. And then this is what I did with Shatter Strike. I tested a lot. Hey, what's up, Curse? Thanks for the... I saw you the other day here while I was doing loot filters. I did so much fucking testing on this one. All of these items. Like, I don't know, 4 hours on this one or something. And we're playing Lightning. That's for sure. We're playing Lightning. Yeah, the mana generator is basically, yeah, you need it. Sucks, but it is what it is. And to be honest, it's just worse than Flame Brief at anything. Like, the burst is better, but this build is pretty tanky. 6k armor, okay health, okay ward. But Uber is way harder. You actually have to play. You could obviously go more glass cannon and just whatever, you know. Or just get better gear, you know, if you have better gear. 2 LP on this, you know, and all that. Like, you just build HP for sure. Just 1 LP item, so. But with this setup, it's much better. To give you a okay, the current setup we have on max roll is 20 million. This setup is 100 million DPS. So,
Such wasted potential. Orobis will have welcomed you. You fight for nothing.
100 million with 1 LP. Everything is 1 LP, yeah. 1 tier 7. Well, some items have 2 LP. Basically, the planners in the website. If the item is item LP level 50 or below, we give it 2 LP. But only 1 tier 7. The weapon, one of the weapons is hard to do, but you could always use like Iorine or whatever. I'll show you the gear after, do not worry. Oh! What is that aimbot? I don't want him out of there. Yeah, that's good. That's fine.
This is his answer.
That's my Charge Strike. I completely changed my tree. I did so much testing. If you look at my tree... Okay, what would you say are the must-have points for Shatter Strike? What would you say are the must-have points? Because if you asked me like 2 days ago, I would have told you, well, the crit multi with the sword, the attack speed nodes, like all of the classics, no? I don't take a single one of those. This is my tree. You take this, you go lining, you take this, you don't take this, you don't take this. No, you do get triple hit, it just looks weird on lining. And this is my gear. Like 1 LP, 1 tier 7, 1 LP, 1 LP tier 7. Obviously these items are kind of... If you don't get the cleanse, if you don't get the... You know... You basically want the set plus the HP, nothing else matters really. Same with the weapon, right? I'm using blind as my crit avoidance because I could... you wouldn't play this on hardcore anyway, so I'm just blinding. I don't give a fuck. New meta. You could also use... you could not spec this and spec Glacier with the minus cost and used the Tundra helmet if you want crit reduction. No, this is just testing. This is offline. And then again, 1 LP, no corruptions, you know. This weapon, again, this and this could be problematic. And then the idols, just one... these kind of idols. You can get 1 Omen, non-Omen. You can also use the Mana Idol, whatever it is. And I tested with Vitality. I tested everything and it's not worth it. I tested a lot of the weapons. Velocity's Jaw is just worth it. It's just really, really good. The 16 plus 4 Dexterity, it's worth it over Sword. It's just worth it. Just too good. And then if you have extra points, you go on the crit multi, but you could you don't need them. Those are the last points you would put. And then, yeah, we go lining, we go shock, we go lining shred. We try to get 300 mana for the idols, increase lining damage. And yeah, it does. I think Flame Brief is just a better build, but if you want to see bigger numbers, better clear, you know. And I think this build has better damage, but you actually have to play and have to worry about generator spending and all that shit, right?
Another beast from the rift.
If you don't like teleport, you could also use Glacier Traversal, for example, with the Frozen of the Tundra. More hardcore friendly.
The beast is nearby. predator, so many bones. You must tell me what sort of beast would devour everything.
I did a bunch of testing with Exulis, with Brutality, with like whatever, and the tankiness I was losing was not worth it.
The beast is nearby.
Shit ton of damage. Oh, Rampancy? Yeah, I tested everything. I tested with like crazy weapons. I tested Rampancy. I tested full stacking Vitality. I tested Exulis with Vitality and Brutality. I tested Omnis with Brutality. I tested Omnis with Rampancy. I tested Nihilis with Rampancy. Nihilis with Brutality. I tested everything. I tested using both, using one. I tested with corruptions, with no corruptions, with Vitality on boots, with none, with the idols, with... I tested literally everything. And like, it's just not worth it. Caesar of Atropos is good on Vitality stackers, because you get the Vitality implicit. But otherwise, it's not worth over... Because the only reason you wouldn't use Jormunds is if you go for Fangs. And then if you use Fangs, then you don't use Velocity. So then you build Cleaver Solution. And basically what you do is you change your passive. Instead of grabbing this Intelligence, because obviously it would go down to waste, you build... Everywhere you see in the gear Intelligence, you would build Strength, which is like basically here and here. And you build Strength instead. You don't take this by intelligence, you don't take this extra intelligence, you don't take this extra intelligence, and you put it on Vitality instead for the Rampancy. And, but I tested, and this version did more damage and was twice as tanky. Because the problem is, like, by building Vitality, you're also losing on increased damage, and this build just doesn't have a lot of increased damage. That's the problem. Like, I have 500 increased damage, and then I have what, like another 400, 600 with the Dexterity, which, again, if you're building Vitality, you're not building Dexterity Exalted, right? And 300 from Intelligence, which will be lower if I went for Brutality. And instead of running, like, 6k armor or whatever, you run, like, 2k. So I think on this build, unless you want to do some clip for YouTube, where you go, like, 0 HP, full... where you're literally just building HP damage and your 0 resistances, 0 HP. Like, if you actually want to play the build, I think you play it like this. It's better than Rampancy, it's better than... I mean, for example, if you for example, hit the Corruption here, and you hit, like, Rampancy here, it's not like it's bad, you know? But, Cyborg work? I have no idea what he does these days. But, I did not... I did this on my own, basically. I don't even know. Does he do lining? I don't even know what he's doing these days. But you don't be stuck on this setup. You don't. On the Rampancy, you have to. And then I also went and looked at Fire Aura. So I did all the builds. I did the 3 builds. This one took the most time for sure. Flame Brief was fast as fuck, because I already knew what I had to do. So yeah, I'm pretty confident about this now. Then I did the Blood Necromancer bullshit. Okay, so I have the numbers here. Okay, so Shatter Strike is 80 million DPS, but it has 110 DPS bursts. You know, like when everything clicks, like you have full mana, you have enchant weapon, you have frenzy, you get spikes of 110 million DPS with this setup, with the gear I'm using. But I would say like your overall DPS over a long period in time is like 80. And then Flame Brief is 50 million DPS, but it has 75 DPS spikes. That basically depends if you get lucky deadly crits, because you are using the amulet, right? So sometimes it's like, if you get like, because it's 40% chance for it to happen. So if it happens like 6 times in a row, well, I mean, you just do 70 million, 70 million, 70 million, 70 million, right? And your DPS just skyrockets. But by default, it's like 50 million DPS, but it's more consistent and has more uptime than Shatter Strike. Positioning doesn't matter as much. So it's like, if you play Shatter Strike perfect and you position perfect, it's more damage. But Flame Brief, I think it's just... is it too loud? Sorry. Some songs are just louder. But Shatter Strike is just... I think it's just the worst build. And then I did Fire Aura, which I did a bunch of research. I look at what other people were doing. I saw some Chinese guys doing something. I saw what Frozen Sentinel was doing. And I basically did, like... I took a bit of what Frozen is doing with his setup. But I geared completely different, basically. I don't know what the fuck he's doing with his... I don't know, he's doing some hipster primordial weapon thingy. Which is cool, but this is what I'm doing with my Fire Aura. So I'm building completely different, basically. I'm going Horn. I'm going Null. I'm not building... I'm going Fiery Dragon Shoes for my crit reduction. And my skills are slightly different when it comes to my points. I get more points, right? Because I get the Horn. I get a few more points. And... yeah, that's pretty much it too. Am I rest stacking? Yeah, of course. You rest stack with Flame Brief. By the way, on the on the Flame Brief build, I used this point, which I'd never used in my life. And this build is pretty fucking good too, honestly. Way better than the setup that I have currently in Max Roll. But I guess, I don't know, I didn't know how to fix... So this setup is much, much, much better. Can do Uber too. All of these builds can do Uber. Pretty easily, I would say. This one is the lowest DPS of all, by far. But I think it's probably the coziest. Like, you don't have to do shit. That's pretty much it. Can I make a build request? I mean, if it's on my list, yeah, I'll get to it.
An up filled with flawed work.
Fast as fuck because of Fiery Dragon Shoes. I get the Flameboard for free proccing all the time with the weapon. It's really OP. I'm not trying Wilson too. Looks like shit, no? Mana, juice, ton of judgment build, never... No, I'm gonna start now. Well, Notepad, the times of Notepad have been gone for a while. No more Notepad. So what do you want to see? Hand of Judgment? Even like the gloves? Like what do you want to do, unarmed or something? You got hit damage. I could take a look. Oops. Died. Didn't flame ward. Build is okay. I mean, it has snap freeze too, so snap freeze on Uber is just OP as fuck because it doesn't get to do anything. And it's probably the weakest build of all, but it's cozy. It's good.
Such wasted potential. All of this would have welcomed you.
Could have waited a bit more, but. Is Harvest Room? No. Harvest is good, but people were asking me about what I've been working on. With the glyphs, this build gets like a lot of stacks too, and overall you get to be tanky and fast. And yeah, there's a runic convocation that gives you what, 5 stacks, I think. Well, died. You can do it, but compared to the other builds are just retarded, you know. I try to play better. Need to stack dormant energy. This is great, isn't it?
The gods tore our world apart. They deserve their fate.
Can stop it there too if you really want to. And you can do it, it's much worse, but it's a good build. Okay, so this one is 35-ish million. 35-ish million. So the Shatter Strike build is doing 3 times the damage. The Flame Breath build is doing double the damage. Quite tankier too. This build is not that bad though. So definitely better than the current one I have on max roll, so I'll just change it, and with all the optimizations I did. And then, out of curiosity, I went to Necro. And I tested Blood Specters. Does anyone want to guess the DPS of Blood Specters in Endgame Planner? So single tier 7. One tier 7. My guess was 200 million before. Okay? My guess was 200 million. What's this? Abomination Blood Specters. Necromancer. So it's like a bleed build. It's 500 million. A bit more, but yeah. With Endgame Planner, it's 500 million. I thought it was like 200-ish. But I guess you don't get to see it because fucking Abomination goes immune, right? 500 million. So yeah, it's doing... Yeah, I don't even... Yeah. Quite ridiculous, actually. Exactly 500 million. Pina! So yeah, the list is getting there. The list is getting there. I have to test everything. So, but it's not even Abom. It's the Sacrifice. Sacrifice is the thing that's OP. I have to test the Abo itself, but I think the Abo is like 50. Like Abo on its own, it's probably like 50. Other tests you did? I've only done this so far. I did... Again, I completely remade Shatter Strike, I completely remade Flame Breath, and I completely remade Fire Aura. Obviously, I have to put it on the planner, but we're gonna get like a new... I'll just do it straight up. Gotta wait for patch notes too, but I have everything saved and stuff. Yeah, so far, I mean, so far that's the most damage we have. It's more DPS than the Shadowrend build, by the way. Like the Shadowrend build has more burst, right? Because it does 1 billion or whatever. But it takes a lot to do. So the most damage is actually that I've seen or that I know is that build. Necro is squishy, not if you build it properly. Like, mine is pretty tanky. I go Vessel of Stripe and everything. It's tanky. It's tanky. I mean, my setup is tanky as fuck. You can do full block if you want to. I don't do it. but you can. I do just 200 weapon. Too much damage. You get too much damage from the... I guess you could snapshot the Aura of Decay, sorry, the Dreadshade itself, and then change. If you really wanted to. You could do that if you wanted to. Is it on max roll, the build? It's public on my profile. I can link it to you if you want. That's the one. That's all the I have everything done, all the progression and everything. So it's already ready, basically. I'll probably do a planner without Ravenous Voids on endgame, of course. Because now we're gonna... You will see, we're gonna have crazy tech. I'll do this version, but without wraps and without red rings, basically. Raid Necro? No, this is... This is Blood Spectre. You basically scale this thing. On sacrifice, this thing. And they're just retarded, basically. They're basically just retarded. Holy Gloves? Yeah, that's on aspirational, of course. I haven't put the corruptions yet. I think. Have I? Oh, I have, actually. Oh, never mind. I have the corruptions. But I'll have a version on endgame with and without this. Not finding on the profile? Should be. It's public. I'll link it. So things that I have left to... I'm gonna be working mostly on the things that have not... We've been told Mage is not getting shit, right? So I'm just working on Mage basically at the moment. We haven't been told anything about Necro, and we know about the new helmet. So I guess, like I'll take a look at the operator build. Yeah, apparently Mage is not getting... I mean, that's what Mike has said, right? That we shouldn't expect much. And then we have... On Mage, I have to take a look at Glacier, honestly, because Glacier is kind of... It's not a bad build, but the DPS... Like, I have 10 million right here. Written. That is 10 million DPS. My Glacier. Not the best. It's tanky, but... I think you can get... I don't know if I did this pre-Volcanic Orb or not, though. I'll have to retest. I don't know. And then Hydrahedron we have, it's 25 million. I don't think it's getting up. And then... I have to take a look at Static Orb. But it's kind of like Mana Flay. I don't think we're gonna have a Static Orb starting planner. We'll just go straight to endgame. Because you don't want to be playing that build before you have like 2k mana or whatever. Otherwise it's... You're better off playing Glacier or... But it scales fucking crazy because of the fucking... I mean, we had this build before. So I don't know. I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos where people are playing it, and it's kind of hard to... Just do so much damage. I don't know. I'll take a look at it, and depending on patch notes, we have it or not, basically. Or to be honest, how many Sorks we have? We have 2 Sorks, so... I don't know. Depends. Depends. But, and then I think that's it for Mage, honestly. I mean, we obviously... What we have? We have Black Hole, but I think it's just too niche, honestly. I wouldn't recommend this build to anyone. It's cool. It's a cool ability, but... Meteor, I kind of have the same problem. Like, why would you play Meteor when you can play Static Orb and they build exactly the same? Can you scale Static Orb and also go sit? I don't recommend it. You really want your mana to not drain on that build, because you rely on this, on Null Infusion. That's why you don't want to be playing it early, because Null Infusion is it gets better the more mana you have. And then what? Fireball? I mean, it's just CDPS at the moment. Then some sort of Frostbite build maybe that we have, and just you include all the Frostbite bullshit. Meteor, I would never play Meteor when I complete Static Orb and they build exactly the same. Volcanic Orb is just Glacier, basically, at the moment. It's like the same build. Glacier is for clear and Static Orb is for single target. Because the thing is, like, I mean, you can play Static Orb, sorry, you can play Volcanic without Glacier, right? But, and spec, like, I don't know, Frostclaw or a buff or whatever. But I don't know. We'll see. We will see, honestly, what I do with Glacier. Maybe I can improve it. Because there is buffs for Glacier here that I never take. You do? Yeah, that's... I don't know if that's a build. But if someone wants to prove me wrong, I'm looking forward to to watch it. And then... I don't know. I think Glyph has potential, but... I just think it's... Frozen did it? Well, I mean, you can do something, but the standards are gonna be pretty fucking high. So... I don't know. I feel like I have to... I'm gonna archive so many of my own builds because they just don't make the cut anymore, honestly. Like, Stygian Coil is dead. For sure it's getting archived. We're archiving... Fleet Falconer is getting archived. And it depends on patch notes, but they are flagged as... And maybe suddenly they buffed the fucking Falcon out of nowhere, but... Yeah, I mean, Glacier can be very, very good, you know, and you can do the double explosion and stuff, like... It can be really, really good, but... Ice Laser, it's just like... It's basically a Riblot build that is worst, that is not automated, right? Like, but Stygian Coil is like... I mean, I have it here. Let's see, what's the damage? I don't even have the damage written down. I think Stygian Coil was like maybe like 20 million DPS or something like that. And it's like you have to spam Reblot and you have to spam the thing and you have to be on and if you stop reblotting it doesn't work and then you have Marrow Shards. You have Reblot Leech now. Why would you play Marrow Shards? Is just better. You know. Way better. Like, because that's the thing, right? Like the Drain Life doesn't really scale with Caspit. And Marrow Shards too, right? Because it has a cooldown, Drain Life, right? So even if you could cast more, you can't, so. If they made it so like every time you like use Reblot, you summon a Drain Life or whatever the fuck, then like Marrow Shards basically, then it would be maybe in the conversation, but it's just like the builds are just getting better and better. But for example, look at this, right? I just went through like my own build, right? So where I basically like, aside from the Flame Fire Aura, which I took a lot of the interactions from Frozen. And what he was doing with his, I changed the gearing entirely, but a lot of the interactions are, well, just like the concept of the build as a, I'm gonna be doing this and use this. I mean, there's nothing like crazy about it, right? Like, there's many builds like that. But I'd say that's probably the closest, by far. Everything else is just like me bouncing against my own head. Like, looking at my own builds and being, holy fuck, how am I this bad? And yeah, I mean, Shatter Strike, I got 4 times the damage I was doing. And Flame Brief, I got... Where's Flame Brief? Flame Brief, I doubled the damage. The Flame Brief build is fucking crazy.
You have my
Today, Depstream? Maybe. If I'm still around, depends on what my girlfriend does.
19 Void Ass.
But if she's not home. You have high damage, relax a bit. Well, it's not about that, right? It's about the build being good. We'll take a look at the other. I don't know. I'll probably do Taticorp and Glacier tomorrow, which are my both my builds. I'm giving you a compliment. Thanks. Thank you. And I don't know. I'll do a bit of research on Meteor because I've seen some people like go into Uber Aberoth with Meteor and just dropping all their mana and everything explodes. But I think you can just do the same with Static Orb with the same gear. So I'll get like a set of gear that makes sense. And I'll compare them side by side and I'll see if there's a single reason why I should play Meteor. And if there is a single reason, I might make it. But if there's not a single reason, then we won't make it. Pretty much. Right, back to Harvest, I guess. Push down, release on. What was I doing? Do you guys remember? What was I doing with this character? I was farming Woven Fleshes, maybe? I don't remember. I need to get my Brutality. And I think I have... I mean, I just switched, right? I just switched to the belt. I have some Vitality, but I haven't switched to not Brutality, sorry. I haven't switched to... I have switched to Cleaver Solution, but I have not... And I think I changed my passive tree completely, right? Yeah, I did. Or you don't grab any intelligence. Based. So now we just need to switch to Brutality. Sorry, a Rampancy. But I wonder what I do, because I feel like at the stage that I am, I wonder if it's worth just farming Nihilis straight up. So these are the Rampancy amulets that I got, and I don't know if I'm a fan of either. I mean, this gives me damage. I need the Fizz Res, I think, right? Unfortunately, yeah, I need the Fizz Res. So we could do... This is not horrible. We could do Fizz Res Blessing for the moment. Or we could try to farm Vitality Idols with Fizz Res, which would be ideal. How is this showing? That's not great. Alright, let's see. Actually, I might just reset. I might get a filter, honestly. What am I using? Strict? I think we might move up. Very strict. That's good. What else did I want to get? A woven flesh that is not here. Alright, I think we're kind of good. Alright, we continue. What's up, Misha? Misha! There's no hype around it. Be pretty dumb to make any moves right now next to PoE and Gamescom and stuff. I think. Next season, guys, like I've said this before, don't expect anything of next season. Next season is just a filler patch. Don't expect anything. It's just a filler patch. It's like season 4 again. It's gonna suck, but it is what it is. Have you guys been watching the Mike shorts though? Do you think it's just filler? Yeah. And you know, they're gonna get some features in ready and back tested before the actual console bullshit. Like, I'm sure the COF stuff and the Merchants Guild stuff, I'm sure it's gonna be impactful and nice, but I don't think not having to roll prophecies makes you wanna play, you know? So I think it's just filler. We get like a couple skills, maybe 3, if what people are saying it's true. And a couple uniques, a new mechanic that is gonna be another fucking circle where you kill bullshit, and instead of crystal bullshit is blood ice bullshit now. Some boss that we're just gonna one-shot, with some fucking retarded OP build that didn't get nerfed after 13 years, and that's it. Season 4 was so good, people don't know about it. People knew about it. The problem is that the main reason people don't play LE is, like, the people who are not playing LE on the seasons are the people who have never got to Empowered Monolith, you know? Doesn't fucking matter how much seasons you add or how much endgame bosses you have. Dude, the people who are quitting LE and haven't played since 1.0, they didn't get to factions, you know? They didn't even level up their COF. They never killed a Harbinger, you know? There was no Harbingers in 1.0. They played back in the day when there was nothing in the game and normal Monolith was an absolute slog, which it was. And the game had crazy bad performance and the servers were... everything was bad, right? About 1.0 pretty much. And then a lot of those people have made their mind, and even though they might like the game, or they have it in the back of... I mean, they paid for it, they have it. A lot of people have made up their mind that until they do like the endgame rework, they're not gonna play. So, until that's the thing that they advertise, nothing matters. Like, you adding more endgame on an endgame that they don't even like or they don't consider an endgame is... Oh yeah, now if you get to 500 corruption, you're gonna get this boss. Bro, these people don't even know what corruption is. They thought doing Monolith was boring. And I think doing Monoliths right now is way less boring than before, because there's way more shit to do in the Monolith, and, you know, unlocking Empowered is way more smooth, and all of these things. But a lot of these people don't know this, because, you know... look at the PoE thing, right? Like, PoE thing... Like, for example, all the problems that I have with PoE endgame, all of them, except maybe having direction at the beginning, right, are not solved by the changes to endgame. But people are praising the you know, people are acting like if the PoE 2 like update completely solved the endgame, and now the endgame is solved, and now, oh my god, it's so good now. I mean, the problems I had haven't been solved at all. but they're like end game problem, like end game problems, right? But if you're someone who just like goes to the first arbiter and then just stops, yeah, like the game is much better now. So until that's what it's targeted by EAG, and it's marketed like that, nothing matters. Because I mean, realistically, for like someone who's like a grinder, has the PoE2 really changed with the update? Just because you have cute things in the map now. You're still chasing cities instead of towers. You're still skipping half the content you don't want to do because you want to get to the actual juice thing that you have to arbitrarily juice out of RNG and layouts and whatever the fuck you don't have control over. It's still infinite Atlas going in one direction and hoping you find something good. And don't get me wrong, you know, like the new things keep you busy, the new expedition and all that. Don't get me wrong, but once you're done with all the quest lines, what? What do I think about the war sword? I think it's so bad. Like, I don't even know. Dude, actually, we haven't even talked about this. No balance? No balance till 1.0? That game is doomed. Doomed!
Come to me if you have
What
heart.
the fuck? Like, so no more... Like, I don't even know what... Like, I don't know if there is just, like... It's inexperience... I don't know what the fuck are these guys doing? They said, you know, yeah, that's the problem, Kaisek. Doing all balance for 1.0 in the current state of the game is suicide. It's suicide. The game, I don't think there is a more unbalanced. It's you can't. I mean, do you under whatever? Like, it's. So there is two options here, right? The balance is just gonna be Ellie balance, where nothing changes really. It's just like we're pretending it's balanced, but in reality nothing changes, which is what Ellie gets, honestly. And the game basically stays the same, right? Or they do it so drastic and so crazy that 1.0 is gonna be a fucking drama. And I think it's gonna be the first one, where I don't think they're changing shit. Are they gonna suddenly kill all the custom crit builds? All the autoplay, zero vision gameplay? There's no way they're gonna do that. It's too... And for 1.0 they're gonna do that? There's no way. The game is doomed. I just listened to a pretty good ramble about it. I mean... I think it's crazy. Like, I think it's crazy. Like, you can't... I mean, do we need to watch... I haven't even deep watched... I had it on my second monitor, the sword thing. Because when I was listening to the things, and I was saying, okay, so nobody's gonna do any of this. So how do we bypass all this like, basically, the entire stream, all I was thinking is, we either gonna bypass everything they just said, we're gonna just automate or bypass everything they just said, or no one's gonna do this. Those are the two outcomes, you know? Either we completely ignore it with some sort of unique or mechanic or whatever the fuck, or nobody plays it. Those are the two options. So I was like, what are they even yapping about? Like, I'm so confused. And I was thinking, like, okay, they're gonna do a balance patch eventually. It's gonna be quite aggressive, and I think doing no balance until 1.0, to me, it's like I'm watching Last Epoch. Like, you know, it's like having a deja vu of a train derailing in slow motion twice, you know? I'm pretty sure Ellie will have balance. Yeah, but the problem with Ellie balance is that they don't really balance. Like, read the Ellie patch notes. They either do X ability now cost 1,000 mana, so we stop playing the build, or X ability now has 2% base damage at level 1. The meta hasn't changed in 2 years, and they're doing balance changes. It's just nothing matters, you know. Sometimes they kill a build, right, because they break the interaction. But bro, again, I was testing these builds like the builds on Maxroll on average are gonna be doing 50 to 100 million, all of them now on Endgame Planner, right? In my opinion, 50 million DPS is like 5 times more damage than you should do at endgame, right? So, in order for the balance in Last Epoch to matter at all in a significant way where it changes how the game is played, they would have to nerf everything by 5 times, right? That's how far away we are from like a scenario where we're just not OP as fuck, right? And I feel like in Path of Exile, that is even worse. And they're not gonna do it in a single patch. It's impossible. It's impossible. Whatever happens on 1.0, it's just gonna be the game. And on a personal level, I just think, I don't know. Nobole Kit Uber Aber with Potion Scorp. I can do it tomorrow if you want me to. Kasiek. Do you want me to do it tomorrow? I'll set up a offline character, single tier 7, and I'll do it. I promise you. I promise you it can be done. I'm extremely confident it can be done. 1 billion DPS is possible. 1 billion DPS is possible now with every build. Like, if you go Glass Cannon enough. But people think nerfing numbers is nerfing fun. Yeah, I like, again, it's so funny. Like, you could nerf some of these builds by 50%, not tell the players, and the players wouldn't realize. Because of they don't even realize. And the builds would be exactly as fun. They would play exactly the same, but instead of hitting enemies and one-shotting enemies with 50% more damage than you need, you would kill them with like just 10% damage more than you need, you know? We would still over-damage them, you know? I want you to try to kill Uber with Reflex Brigand. I'm pretty sure it has been done, no? He did a dispatch with his Reflect on softcore. I mean, he died on hardcore, but he did it after, no? This season? No, this season. It's still a good build, it's just... I mean, before it was retarded. Now it's just OP. Okay, I want you guys to understand. This Blood Spectre build that I have now, this Blood Spectre build on Endgame Planner. Endgame. We're talking Endgame. We're not talking aspirational Endgame Planner. Yeah? It's 500 million DPS. Right? Do you understand how much they have to nerf it for it to be as good as Lightning Blast? I'm even gonna click another S tier build. How much do you have to nerf Blood Spectre's DPS to have the DPS of Lightning Blast? With the same level of gear, of course. How much? How many times? More than 4. Lightning Blast endgame is like 70 million DPS or so. So it's insane. And that's already an S tier build, right? So again, I'm using LE as a parallelism, because I'm not trying to like shit on Path of Exile. It's not like Elite does the same fucking stupid mistakes. I was just expecting more from GGG basically. I kind of expected from LE because they proved their. I mean, I'm not surprised, right? When these things happened in LE, and I'm kind of like, I made peace with it and whatever, you know. It's the game we play now and whatever. But on Path of Exile, bro, 1.0, like this 1.0 feels, dude. They're gonna be releasing without all the classes, without all the weapons, with the. I mean, it's gonna be one of those 1.0s that it's 1.0s for marketing and because whatever the fucking deadline they set up to themselves. But bro, it's not 1.0. It's and I don't know. It just sucks to watch it happen because. I mean, I hated it when it happened to LE, and we all agreed that the LE release was fucking dog shit. I don't know. I just don't see how you get out of there. Like, it's gonna take 2 years, you know? Like LA, basically. What? Yeah, I think so. LA released very badly, in my opinion. The developers should have focused more on balance and bug fixing in 1.0 than they did. Like, the game wasn't working. Half of the skill trees were not working. Like, if the game released now as 1.0, I think the reception would be very, very good. There's not that many, like, you put something on a skill bar and it straight up doesn't do anything anymore. Don't get me wrong, there's some bugs, especially with items and stuff. But, dude, before, the entire Lightning Blast 3 wasn't working, bro. Like, every node was bugged, you know? Is LA at Gamescom? No. And the balance was just like, I mean, don't get me started, right? I think LA is on a much, regardless of the, you know, the stupid builds one-shotting Uber and all that. To be honest, that's not that hard to fix. Those, you know, those, like, outliners. I mean, I think I could, like, and again, in this game, everything is isolated, right? If Harvest is too strong, you just nerf Harvest and it doesn't affect anything else. It's not like in Path of Exile, or like you nerf one support gem and you're nerfing every build that could use that support gem ever, right? There's so many, you know, like dimensions and shit. And to be honest, LE is just going for the arcadey. Again, I struggled with this in the past, where like I wanted LE to be something, and then eventually it turned into something else, and I struggled with it, and that created a lot of frustration to me, and I felt bad about it. But now that I made peace with it, like LE is gonna be a console first game, casual as fuck, where every patch we're gonna get some fucking stupid item that one-shots everything. They're gonna try to make the game fun for like a week, maybe 2 if they're lucky, and that's the game. And anyone who's not expecting that in the future will get disappointed, and it's not gonna be a serious game. They're not actually gonna do proper balance at all. It's gonna be a theme park, and the moment you do peace with this, every build's gonna have haste at level 1, every build's gonna have frenzy at level 2, every build's gonna have a 40% execute at level 20, and the faster you make peace with this, you can just relax and enjoy the game. And I'm pretty confident about this. We were talking about before. Not necessarily, because the game can be arcadey and theme parky and still be fun to play and have good progression. I would say, for example, something like Torchlight Infinite. The gameplay is just like very theme parky, just like fireworks and shit. But people enjoy the progression, regardless of the pay to win and all that, right? Like, people enjoy the gearing and the... I would have liked it to be a bit more serious and a bit more grounded, but I don't think... I mean, if you look at... And we have sigils missing, which, I mean, let's be honest, that's just gonna be some other crazy shit. I mean, regardless of what they do, it's just gonna be crazy, right? Look at the corruptions. And you're proccing shurikens out of your ass, you know? We're just gonna get more and more of that as the game progresses, I think. And again, I think LE is way easier to, like, get grounded. The moment the devs want to pull things down a bit, and if the devs want in a single day to stop Uber for getting one-shotted, they can do it. Because every case of one-shotting Uber is isolated, all of them. You can watch a clip and instantly locate what's the problem, right? But like in PoE, there's so many, just because it's a more complex game. Everything interacts with everything, everything affects everything. You know, in LE, bro, it's like, there's 20 cars, each one is going on each lane. If there's a car that is going too fast, you just make it slower. But in PoE, it's like watching, you know, that crosswalk in Japan, where when the traffic light goes on, it's just like a fucking avalanche of people just crossing each other. That's PoE. It's impossible to locate who's the problem in the crowd, because it's just there's so many things interacting with each other, you know. And if you nerf one thing, then oh, it's OP for this, but it's not OP for that. And again, remember, in PoE 2, you can make a fucking Reaper Leech that has Rebuke, that has Umbral Blades, and that has Flameboard. You can actually do that in that game. You have that much free, and in PoE 1 it's even more freedom, right? So yeah, when that's the concept of the game, and that's what you're allowed to do as a player, it's impossible to achieve balance. I don't know. I was just like expecting a different road from PoE 2. But I don't even know why did they even make PoE 2? Like they have all this like vision gameplay and bro, I was watching this fucking. Should we actually haven't really looked at it like deep? Should I watch at the sword bullshit? Because I was just listening to it on my second monitor. And don't get me wrong, it looks fucking amazing, and the visuals and it looks fucking amazing. But I'm like, what is the gameplay, Mocha? Like, and it seems to me like a lot of people, looking by the reactions on Reddit, and it seems like a lot of people feel a bit like that. It's not even 5-button gameplay. It's like, brother, you're sending 20. Like, have you played Ritual with multiple bosses in PoE 2? What parry? What parry, bro? My screen looks like fucking Dresden in World War II. What pairing? It's D-Day in my screen. No. It's true though. You guys know what I mean, right? This is dog shit. You forgot the part where the shield counts as attack. Oh yeah, let me use my shield against the one mob, you know, so... Oh man. And then when they started doing these combos with Cyclone, oh yeah, I'm gonna use my little thing until I get the Frenzy Charge, and then after that I'm gonna be using my Charge basic attack to enter Bloodstuns, and then I'm gonna... Brother. And that's the thing, like, we all know, why are you introducing all these systems if you're also, I mean, everyone's gonna bypass them, that, right? Like, they're building all this, like, amazing combat, and if the game was about that, I'm down. Like, I like the gameplay in PoE 2 in the campaign. On a personal level, I like it. What I don't like is when that gameplay doesn't transfer to the endgame, and it's like, you just feel like, if you don't play one of these builds that basically trivialize the mechanics and basically don't do mechanics, why... You just feel like you're self-cucking, kind of. Because, you know, like... You know, you play a build that doesn't have to do any mechanic, and it's just like evading, everything explodes. And then, on the other hand, you can play a maze build, you know, brother. I'll stick to casting and clearing file screens for... Yeah, exactly, that's the thing, right? That's exactly what I'm talking about. And it's not even about the power, right? Again, it's not even about things being powerful or weak. It's about, like, if I have a build that allows me to win by just clicking evade, spamming evade, and that allows me to win that much effort. But if I play a build that then requires me to perfectly time fucking 7 abilities and do it at the right time and blah 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 and positioning and all that, and I'm even weaker than the just evade build, I don't know, I don't really... As a player, I feel like which one I'm supposed to do. Because at that point, it doesn't feel like one build is strong, one build is weak. It feels like one build belongs in the game and the other one doesn't belong in the game. Because, for example, in Last Epoch, right, there's OP builds and there's weak builds. But when it comes to gameplay and how much button presses they need, and how the cooldowns work, and how... They're all pretty similar, right? Like you play, like... regardless if, like, one build is doing a million DPS and the other one is doing 1 DPS... Mechanically, conceptually, they're all pretty similar. They make sense. You know, the balance sucks, but as a player, you feel like, okay, I know what kind of game I'm playing, right? It's like, kind of like, you pick one skill, you spam the one skill, you occasionally cast some buffs, and then you have a movement skill. And you can apply this formula to pretty much every build, right? You have your one spammable ability, sometimes you have a nuke, or not, right? And then you have, like, a couple buffs and a movement. And that can be applied to pretty much every build. So yeah, I don't know, I'm just... What's the best way to get the Primordial Blitz? Just kill all the beasts, like spec all the Weaver bullshit. They drop a lot. The Carrion, they just drop a lot. They just spec these 3 nodes, 1 node, 3 nodes, 1 node. So you just get beast all the time. In my experience, just do that. Just beast non-stop.
He has seen your fate.
Bro, you can't tell me cast on a bathe and earthquake can coexist, you know? I'm sorry. My first build was earthquake. Titan. Bro. That's pretty good actually. And then, you know why I get so heated about this? It's like, because PoE 2 actually has good bosses and good combat. So, dude, I beat every boss in PoE 2, I don't know a single mechanic. I don't know any single mechanic, I beat every boss. Actually, I haven't done the new Expedition boss, because I was lazy to do Expedition. But every other boss I've done. I don't know a single mechanic. I beat all of them though. And I don't really want to learn them because it just feels like, why would I learn something that I know I can just trivialize? Which is one of the reasons why I make very big I really push the narrative of like trying to. It's fine to have OP builds in LE, but if something is like straight up one-shotting Uber Abaroth, I think it's too much, personally. I think if you can one-shot Uber Abaroth, then Uber Abaroth doesn't mean anything, right? And if it doesn't mean anything, there's no reason to play, and it's like you know, the game is just a joke, so everyone treats it as a joke, and a game that is a joke is hard to grow, in my opinion. Yeah, the game has amazing combat, which is completely put in the bin for the whole crowd addicted to being cool. But I don't even know why. I don't understand. Do you guys think they just... I wish I had an explanation of this. Like... Because it seems to me like the devs really believe in the vision, but then when it actually comes to actions, they're kind of like... It seems like they only really care about the campaign, kind of, or... I don't know. I don't even know. Why are they doing it? This is just because they're scared of getting people angry? But I mean, why do it in the first place then? Just do whatever people want and... Why even do PoE 2 then? Just... I don't know. What's the problem with only one build being able to one-shot turret? It doesn't lock the player into the specific, and if it does, it's the player problem for being 3-hit. The problem is like it makes the achievements in the game and what it means to play this game and what it means to achieve things in the game meaningless, which creates like a overall perception that the game is nothing matters. And if it doesn't, and if nothing matters, you have the problem we have right now where the game is being played for one day as a theme park thing, and then everyone quits, and then we complain about the game not being sustainable and not having players. You know, it's like anything. Like, if you could be a music artist, would you rather have like a healthy career for like a span of 50 years, or have a viral song on TikTok once and that's it? Like Last Epoch at the moment, I think, because they're scared of being forgotten, they've been going very, very hard into the, oh, let's try to make it a theme park, let's people need to have fun, and they're bombarding the player with power day one, but they get drunk with power day two and they then quit, right? So it's very important that your game, even if you're not a serious player, it's important that people consider the games like a place worth of spending your time, you know? It's like a psychological thing. For example, that's why companies spend money on esports, and that's why people, you know, companies spend money on animated series of Cyberpunk, and it's because it's more than a game, right? It's an identity, it's like you're part of something. And these things don't look like much, but they do matter. They do matter. Like, for example, races on PoE2, most people don't race at all. But the fact that they exist, it makes you feel like if you're a casual, you play PoE2, you feel like you're part of something bigger, you know? The fact that, oh shit, like, I'm not gonna do it, but if I wanted to, this game is the real deal, bro. It's the same with sports, the same with anything, you know? Like, do you think as much people would play football if the World Cup didn't exist? Or if the Champions League wouldn't exist? It's like a calling effect. It's like you're part of something bigger, you're part of something global, and even if you're just a little ant there, you know? People who will quit after Uber, yeah, but if it takes you longer to quit Uber, you play longer. And if you feel achievement after defeating Uber, you feel a dopamine that makes you want to stay in the game, right? Like, if just achieving something, it doesn't mean you feel achievement, right? You need to... it's the developer's responsibility that the player has a journey that is engaging all through. Because if it's not, even if they... Like, no, like, imagine you log in a game, it's a cutscene, it says press A, you press A, and you say game over, you won. Highest score. Okay, you're like, oh shit, I have the highest score. Do you actually feel like you achieved anything? You know? It's psychological. Players need to feel like what they did is meaningful. And if there's a way to trivialize that, nobody cares, you know? Like, imagine if everyone got a gold medal at the Olympics. Then nobody gives a shit about gold medals. Simple as that. It's a basic psychology. With everything in life and everything humans do. Everything. The most efficient way to play the game and the strongest way to play the game, in my opinion, the devs should try to make it the most fun. Players will always try to look for shortcuts, so if the developers make sure that the shortcuts are fun and catered, I think the experience gets better overall. I'll give you an example. Someone like me, right? Like, let's just say I want to play as efficient as possible because I want to level 100. Right now, the most efficient way to play is to enter one echo and do it over and over and over, the same echo. Just do Exile Mages non-stop. Room Prison Complex for 10 hours. Now, that is the most efficient way to do, and I'm doing it because I want to do efficient. But what if the best way to get XP was, instead of doing that, was just to, you know, play the game normally and do different content and, you know, how to engage with all the systems, and that can be very easily done. All you have to do is make it so if you re-enter an echo, you don't get bonus XP. Boom. And suddenly the game is... You can still be as efficient as possible, but while doing that, you're gonna be more engaging because the experience is gonna be better. Right? And I think that's the dev's responsibility.
What is the future like? No. You must tell me what sort of beasts dwell in your...
And in the case of PoE, which is what started this entire conversation, I think it's a shame that a game that has so many devs have put work into the animations, the boss design, the telegraphs, the animations, the world building, that the fact that you're allowing the player to just completely ignore that, I think it's just like bad, you know? Like, you cook like a nice meal, right? You spend hours, you mature the meat for 6 months, you get the best wine from Italy, you go there, right? You go there, yeah? And then when the person sits in, just throws everything away and grabs a hot dog. I mean, I'm fine with hot dogs, but do we need to waste the good wine? Like, there's place for hot dogs too, but it just feels like a shame that we're allowing players to go for the hot dog instead of engaging with the wine and the steak, and, you know. And again, it's completely fine if there was no steak and we only had a dog, right? A hot dog, it's fine. But it feels bad that the game has more to offer that is just being ignored. And I feel the same about Last Epoch. They've been nerfing builds every season. It's killing the game. I mean, okay, if you think that, that's fine. You're wrong and clueless, but it's your opinion. So, in order to have right opinions in this world, we need wrong opinions, because there can be wrong without right, right? So it's fine. If you think that, it's fine. What's up, potato? You're making a list? Nice, nice, that's good. That's useful. It's just a little OP, it's just a little... Rogue is just a little OP. This build variety is good for the game. I mean, what you're typing is so stupid that I don't even know if I'm gonna reply. Okay, if you have one build that does 1 billion damage and every other build does 1 million damage, is there build variety in the game? Would there be more build variety if all the builds do 1 million damage? Or is it better if there's just one build that do 1 billion? Just one, you know? What is more build variety to you? Come on, man, use your brain. You're literally arguing against yourself by typing that. More balance makes build variety go up. Do I have a planner? Yeah, I linked it earlier. I don't know if I still have it copy past that. I don't. Do someone have the planner and can copy pasta? There's snapshotting, by the way. Cheese, you have to use spec or I'll have it in the guide. But you basically use spec Dreadshade and then you spec Bonkers after you apply the Dreadshade to the Abomination. Good. Fucking hell, I copy pasta the... You'd rather have one build that does a trillion than a build doing 0 and being unplayable anymore? Who says it has to be unplayable? Who says 1 million builds are unplayable? At what point would you consider a build unplayable, since you have a strong opinion on this? What is unplayable in Last Epoch? And what is playable? What is? Do you have a good understanding of the numbers? What build have you played this patch, Maxis? What build have you played this patch? Let's see. Or what build has been nerfed that is unplayable? That you consider, oh, this build is unplayable. Like, this is what killed the game. They nerfed this build, and now... And again, when I talk about nerfs, I don't agree with stupid nerfs, you know. You can nerf something and you don't have to kill it. Now, Deb's being stupid and killing things, that's just a Deb problem. Has nothing to do with my argument. I seems like Falconer is still more damage than every build you've ever seen on YouTube. Vengeance is not RIP. You can still kill Uber with it. You have to build it different than before. I don't like the gameplay as much. It's more stronger than before, way stronger. Not even close, actually. Again, guys.
Are you prepared?
Turbo, maybe? Keep in mind. Keep in mind. Okay, I'm gonna pause. Keep in mind. This is my build. This is Vengeance. Okay? This is Vengeance. One second. Don't wanna die. This is Vengeance, okay? Let's take a look at the damage I do. Alright, guys. Let's see the damage I do. Let's see if I show the fucking numbers. I'm sure I do. There? Okay, guys. Are you guys ready for the insane damage? Meta build, by the way. The 30k DPS build, currently doing 500 million in current patch. Okay, ramping. Okay, I'm hitting the dummy for 230k, no? I just played a Flame Reef build, which is an A-tier build, right? That hit the dummy for 76 million 4 times per second. Okay. $30 million DPS is just 80. It's not 30 million DPS. It's less. But I would say 100 million DPS next patch. 74 crits. Yeah, but it's like it goes in, out, and then you have a bit of downtime. Because you have to stack it. Burst and DPS are different things, right? For example, let's just say you have a build like Shatter Strike, right? This is the DPS and this is time, yeah? And you start at, and this is 100 million, right? And this is like a period of 10 seconds or whatever, right? And let's just say you start attacking, your enchant weapon goes down, and then you mana strike, and then you're, right? Okay, you're peaking at 110 million. But most of the time, over time, you're more like around this area. So your DPS is not 110, your DPS is more like 80. Right? So for example, the Flame Reef build works kind of like this. And it has a lot of RNG. It kind of works like this, basically. It's like... This is 100 million, right? It kind of goes like this. So your DPS is actually more, and this is where all the things hit at the same time, right? Like this area. So your overall DPS is actually more like 50. Yeah, there's other ways to calculate your DPS. Proper spreadsheets is the best. And then you can use the dummy to confirm that the math is not bad. Sometimes there's bugs, right? It's static, and it's not static. Because it heals up, right? And it has a finite... For example, let's just say you have a build that is doing 1 billion DPS, right? But it ramps. By the time you get to your, like, a bleed build, right? Like something like a Necromancer build, before you reach your cap damage, the damage is gonna be dead. The damage you destruct... Oh, you guys mean the actual damage numbers? Yeah, the damage numbers are static, but sometimes it's hard to calculate, like, just based on a time axis with the dummy, because the dummy heals. So, for example, if you play a burst build and the dummy is healing, like, you know, 100k per second or whatever the fuck he heals, well, it's gonna make your numbers look worse if you have more downtime than a spam build, right? You need to spreadsheet. If you don't spreadsheet, your number is not gonna be accurate. Or like, oh, you're some sort of like AI simulator or something. Or like a tool or something. But in order to have an opinion about these topics, like these nerfs and these things and everything I'm talking about, you need to have an understanding on what the current numbers are. If you don't have a current understanding, and you have basically all the data of every build, your opinion is just like, I don't know, based on fantasy, basically. It's like having an opinion about, I don't know, how does God look, you know. This is fiction. I can show you. Jeez, I can show you if you want. I can show you the build. Move your body. I need to respect some things. Yep. So you will apologize. Okay, so the first thing you gotta do is you gotta do specters, zombies, mages. Focus mages. You do mages, the 3 mages we have. Do the skeletons, you have 6. Then you do the raids, the zombies. 6 of each. And now you consume. Consume. Abomination is here. Change your skills. You only have to do this once per session, unless he kills himself. Either cheat him. Well, I'll show you tomorrow, Kerseki. If you're here, I'll show you. Tomorrow, my girlfriend is having a Mario Party thing with her girlfriends, which means we're basically completely free to... I think I'll be able to basically no life, basically. So, okay, now basically what you do is you just summon the blood guys. Once you have a lot of them, you want to resummon the Dreadshade because it scales with area eventually. Not now, because I need the points. And normally you would want to leave the session with this ability spec, otherwise, well... I'll show you. Hola, Bellita, ¿qué tal? ¿Ya estás? Sí. ¿Tardó 20 minutillos? Okay, one more point. Yeah, there is currently a bug. This is why I don't have the build up yet. That Abomination kills himself when he sacrifices. It happens often. No, it doesn't. It can't. She can devour Blood Specters. She summons them. Okay, one more point. Okay, one more point still. Okay, we got it. Okay, now we spec this thing. Okay, now we want to make sure that we do the sacrifices. And we want to have as many of these as possible. And then we do Dread Shade on the guy. Okay, now it's set up. Now we unspec Dread Shade. Okay. And now we spec Bonkers. Right? And now Bonkers, we need these points here. Nothing else matters, honestly. That's all you need on Bonkers. So now, if we go to the arena, hopefully it doesn't reset here. I'll show you an Uber, I guess. So now we activate our Aura of Decay to do damage. And I'll just show you an Uber, I guess. She is an Abomination, yeah. Now we unspec this. It's already on him and it's infinite duration, so we can do this. Okay. See that. Oh, annoying that he does that because we want to be there for the damage. That's it. Insane damage. I'm full HP basically. Have 1 tier 7. You don't need this for, obviously, Ravenous Void is just tankiness, you don't need it. Same with the extra HP, you don't need it. Same with the red rings, you don't need them. It's just tankiness, not damage. Same with this, right? This for tankiness, you could go damage here. Single tier 7. Single tier 7. Single tier 7. Single tier 7. 12p. Bonkers is for the minor buff? No, I'm doing two things with Bonkers. I'm doing 50% more damage, and then I'm using Pearls of the Swine for applying the Crepify, which is another 15% more damage. So I'm getting two multipliers out of Bonkers. This is basically you see 5 Bonkers. You'll see this thing? That's the Crepify. So he's Bonkers and he's the Crepified, but that applies to the enemies too. It's two damage buffs. And yeah. And if we go to the Champion's Gate or whatever. Let's see if he's still summoned. He's still summoned, perfect. I'll show you. Are you guys ready? Hey, watch the dummy. It's still ramping, it's just dead, you know? And how do, you know... We can do dummies per second with this one. I need the 13. You see how it's... Oh, dead already. Oops. EQ Bear? No. This build is doing 5 times the damage that EQ Bear is. As a reference. 5 times. And it existed before, I just didn't know about it. Or I didn't. I did. Actually, that's not true because these Necromancer nodes are pretty new. This node is pretty new. But whenever they added this, the build existed. Yeah, you see, it's dummies per second. And the thing is, like, you see there, I got to 7777. I've calculated, and this build gets to 2000 ticks of blood. Right? You can also see it on Uber. Like, if I go to Uber, like, you can see the 2000s. But the dummy is dying only when I get to 500. So basically, I'm killing the dummy before I have my damage, basically, right? Because I know on Uber I can get more than 500 ticks, but the dummy dies by the time I'm 500 ticks, the dummy is dead. So, and that at that point, you can't calculate DPS because, you know, so you have to do it on a spreadsheet. Or like on an app or whatever. I'll represent again. Just keep an eye on the... You see there how it's ramping? We got to 900 there. You can keep attack. Didn't kill the bish. You will see when he stands still, we will see the full stacks. Ah, well, didn't see. I just watched the replay from the previous clip. Whatever. At that point, it's a balance issue and it should be nerfed. Anything that cannot test its damage on dummy because it kill. But you need to understand the amount of builds that I have now that do this is like. This is better than Skeleton Rogue, I think so. I think so. Should be better. Because the problem with Skeleton Rogue is that you don't have a lot of chance. Check the previous message. With Perception, then you can spec into Bone Courser and have a lot of word per second. Yeah, but the problem is like you don't want to keep it spec'd. It's not a bad option, but the problem is like the Bone Course damage from the aura also applies to you. And I don't know, I was doing this, but for example, Bone Course can auto-sacrifice you, it auto-chills you, all of this like applies to you if you take these things. Like you know that the kill threshold works on yourself. If you Bone Course yourself, you get executed. If you reach the threshold. I have died to this before, and that's how I find out. So, I mean, if they fix that, then I consider it for sure. And we can test it, just to see. I mean, I wouldn't do it on hardcore, but... You do the aura, and again, then you have the problem of the mana drain, which again, you can kind of fix with going full mana efficiency and all that, but... You don't have a way to make mana on this build, that's a problem. But you're just draining. We have enough mana regen, but when I start doing the skeletons, it will become a problem. I don't know, I'll take a look. Can you Bone Course kill yourself with Titan Heart? Yes, yes. I mean, with anything. If the Bone Course procs, you will die, yeah. Or if a random enemy hits you for 1 HP and it procs the Bone Course and you're on threshold, you die. Yeah, it's not a horrible idea, Ayagan. But obviously you would have to snapshot, but yeah, but the damage applies, so I don't know. I mean, it's definitely worth it. I'll do it. I'm worried about the mana though, because when I play normally without it, that's why I didn't do it initially. But I guess I can just go full on efficiency, you know? How much mana regen I have? 12. Oh, horrible. Because the mana efficiency applies on this. And then what? Full area? No? And what? I mean, we don't care about that because it's not gonna multiply. We don't want to chill our own minions. Let's see if it works on minions or not. It used to work, maybe they fixed it. I don't have points. Let's level it actually. Oh, fuck, what am I doing? 35% mana regen. I don't think I'm building. I mean, the red rings are giving me mana regen, but I could include it on the guide. That's not a bad idea. The build has a lot of ward regardless with the regen, but seems like a good idea. Let's see how it feels. There's this tech. Yeah, we use it on Warlock, of course, on all the Warlock builds. It is a lot, actually. I didn't expect it to be that much. Skelerrock, thanks, Ayagan. That's. I'll test how the mana feels. I shouldn't give you more damage, but the ward is significant, so. And you for sure need this version, the Decrepify version. But it applies to me now. Now the Decrepify. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that. %15% more damage over time taken. I mean, I have a lot of regen. Killer rogue operators will operator gives you 100% per skeleton. Half is gonna be a rogue, so it's more 100% multiple rogue on 100% rogues. 10 rogues. We can use spear and scale poison damage. I wouldn't do poison. I would do bleed. I would do bleed. Just because this item is OP. Duration is the most OP stat, and poison duration you can't get, right? There's no good sources of poison duration. But this is 100% bleed duration here. Then you get another 48% here. I'm doing vitality idols, but there you can get some on idols, I'm pretty sure. And poison duration, what do you do about poison? Poison is shafting in the game? No. Poison is good. It's just not good on everything. And I still think... Ya vengo, te estoy hablando. And it's still gonna be less damage, I think. Taste of blood for the burst. Decker. I was trying not to snapshot gear. And to be honest, the build is completely playable without bunkers. For the record. But this gets converted, so it's on everything. Yeah, bleed is just better in my opinion from my testing. I know Zekar likes crit too, but I would just go. I'll basically build exactly like this, but instead of basically instead of building these two abilities, I just build, and to be honest, I might even build this and sacrifice my own skeletons to get. I'll do this, but then I just what is it called? Like not use abomination and self-cast sacrifice, basically, right? And then spec. No need to snapshot or even spec. What is it called? Maybe Riblot even. The bit scaling, yeah, it's OP. It's OP as fuck. And on top of that, you get the fucking infinite armor. Let's not forget about that, right? Infinite armor with Dreadshade. Because of this fucking note. I'll do some testing on the mana, and if necessary, I'll just add a mana reroll, mana roll on one of the rings in the starting planner. No, Yogan. What wouldn't you spec though? Let's just say they fix the snapshot. But I don't think they can fix this though. I don't think they know how to. Like, they can fix snapshot on gear and things you spec. The problem is, like, the Dreadshade is already applied and it's not dynamically refreshing. So, unless they make Dreadshade not infinite again, I don't think they can fix this. At least not yet. I don't know. I don't think they have the technology. You got any Javelin tech for hit build? I like doing the Serpent, whatever the fuck it's called, the relic. Sorry, the spear that the. We have it on max roll, I'm pretty sure. I like the Forge Guard version more, but we have both, I think. This build is really good. I think Javelin Paladin is... I think the Paladin is like 40 million DPS with the Sirpin's fractal thingy. And then I think we have the Forge Guard too. No, we don't. But you can play it on Forge Guard with block, basically. I like the Forge Guard. I think we're supposed to have it. I don't know. Maybe he's updating the planners or something. But the Paladin does way more damage. Way more damage. Where's the Radiant Lance? Well, I don't know what it's gonna be, though. And if I had to guess, it's gonna go... If it's a spell... I mean, I think it... I don't know. Depends on what it is. But it will probably just be added to, like, either Judgment or Smite or Time Brought, whatever it fits, honestly. Just replace Sigils for it, or on the Void Knights and all that. And if Sigils gets moved, which I'm taking as granted now. 3 LP weapon and everything. Try the Paladin one. You think it's a throwing skill? Nah, I don't think so. Radiant Lance. I think it's gonna be like this. I said this on stream like months ago, but whenever we heard about it. What is it called? Gears of War. Orbital. This thing. Hammer of the... What is it called? Hammer of the whatever the fuck? Hammer of Dawn? I think it's gonna be like this, basically. Like a Giga Smite. Maybe it goes like this, or maybe it goes like more like a instead of falling straight, maybe it falls in an angle. Like, you know, like the light rays on a church, more divine or something. So if I have to guess, it's something like this. Well, that's a good call on the aura. I see what I do with the mana, and I see what I do with the rest of the points. Area for sure. And then what? They already fixed this, no? That's kind of good. Let me test something fast. Because if the chill works... Because this used to apply to yourself and it sucked. But it looks like it doesn't. I mean, the slow is not applying. What about the chill? It doesn't, huh? Does it apply to enemies though? Should have tested this, honestly. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna use this on everything, of course. Okay, so the slow is just applied. The chill is on hit, no? When they proc it. So does it proc on me too? How do I test this? I think I have to go to the campaign and get myself hit, no? Okay. If the chill applies to me, I'm not taking it. And I think it applies to me. I remember something applied to me. Ah, vengo, te estoy hablando. Okay, I'm getting aggro as fuck, guys. Testing this and I have to go. I'll be back tomorrow, though. Oops. Okay, do I get chilled? I don't. W. Okay, I don't get chilled no more. That's W. No, this is W. Okay, that's great, actually. Offline testing? Dude, I did so much testing. Yeah, this is fucking OP as fuck actually now. Because this will always be up, right? Good. I tested a lot MML. If you watch the bot, when I started the stream, that's the first thing I did. I showed the new builds. Remade Flame Brief, remade Fire Aura, remade Shatter Strike, and further min-maxed this guy. And now I just got some good tips by Iagan. Well, which basically told me just turn off Aura for this. I don't know why. I thought the mana would be more aggressive. Because I have the normally when you spec this on leveling without these points, it giga drains, you know? Yeah, no, this is how what I remembered. But if you get at least, this is 20 mana regen, so you need at least 30 or something, 35, one roll, right? And then you get these 4 points. Then it's not that bad. Still go negative, but... Why Wrap Void for gloves? They give you vitality. You have full regen, so you don't care about the leech. And they're easy to farm, and they're OP, and... Wrap Voids for builds that don't leech are the best in slot, normally. On minion builds, I just love Ravenous Voids. Or on non-leech builds. Like, builds that don't hit often. And they give you vitality, so it's more damage also. And then obviously, right now, my regen doesn't look like a lot, right? But when you start summoning when you have all the minions, right? Because it scales per minion, right? So you will have 13 of this with sacrifice. So right now I only have 6, so imagine I had 13 minions exactly. I need what? Raids. Just so you can see the regen. Yeah, something like that. That will be my regen. Right? And that's word per second, obviously. And then if I turn on the aura, it'll be a lot of word. And I have a lot of HP and it's good. If you get multiple LP, then it'll be better, right? Because you can start building like you can get this with 3 LP pretty easily, right? But or even build less HP, go for more regen or whatever. Blessing, of course. But I have to go. Girlfriend is Giga aggro. So yeah, if you guys are curious about the builds, I showed them at the beginning of the stream. So thank you guys for watching. A long stream tomorrow for sure, because Girlfriend will be busy. But today I'm being aggroed. So thanks for all the discussions and all the tips and all the sharing. It's gonna be interesting now that I'm gonna be able to make the builds on stream. Who's doing the skeleton? I'll say my planner. I'll do it, I think. I mean, nobody likes Necromancer, so I do them not because I like it, but because I'm the only one who's willing to. Tell her calm down. Yeah, that's not an option, bro.